All right, we're on to chapter 2 of book 2, problem synthesis. Now, the problems that this exercise is going to solve for you are threefold. First, we're going to make sure your interviews are actionable. You're going to take all that talking and turn it into action, steps moving forward. Those steps are going to involve creating the foundation for your marketing strategy and the foundation for your solution design. So by the time we're done, you're going to have the framework, the things that you need to build your marketing strategy and your solution design iteration process. So we'll start with where you ended in the last chapter. At the end of the last exercise, you should have groups of post-it notes around the problems that you heard your customers talk about. Both the problems, the emotions, all the nuggets, anything you thought was particularly interesting. You'll have groups of those sort of sitting in front of you digitally or in paper. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take those and we're going to organize them around 5 main areas. Those areas are the customer problem, customer solutions, emotions, channels, and deficiencies. So what you're going to do is you're going to have one sheet here for each of the problems that came out of your customer interview. So you're just going to have one problem per worksheet, and then you're going to talk about the other 4 components as they relate to that problem. So I'm going to go through an example here, and this is kind of fun. I'm actually going to use the problem synthesis process that I went through for creating the focus framework. So what you'll see here are basically the result of the conversations I had that helped drive the creation of the focus framework. And what's extra cool about this process is that you can see that it works because you are reading the focus framework. Yeah? So we know it works because you're actually consuming it. So you can rest easy and know that, hey, this process has been perfected and has been used to create the thing that you are actually using now. So that's a nice little case study in your hand. So the customer problem, one of the problems, this will just be one of the problems that came out of the conversations I had, was that there's so much information available on starting a company, so many things to do, but I don't know what to do next. That was definitely the most common problem that I heard. So you're going to write your problem in the customer problem section in the words of your customer. Yeah, so you're going to use those post-it notes that you have, and you're going to sort of condense them, combine them into one coherent statement around one problem. Now, don't combine a bunch of problems. It shouldn't be ands in here. There shouldn't be ors in here. There should be one consistent problem, and you'll create another worksheet, another sheet for a secondary problem that they might have. All right, so just this one problem here. I'll also note that the second most common problem was that people don't feel like there's no one to hold them accountable, right? So you could see I could have combined these two. I don't know what to do and no one to hold me accountable, but we don't want to do that right now. These need to be one problem per sheet, because if we try and solve too many problems at once, we're going to end up solving, again, no problems well. So we solve one problem really well, and then eventually we'll add on a secondary problem. So I totally cut there's no one to hold me accountable. Okay, now I'm going to look at number 2 here. Number 2 is our current solutions. And this is the current solutions the customers are using to try and solve this problem. Now, what I'm going to put in here are actually the solutions that they tell me, but also the solutions that I can see them taking. All right, so some of the solutions are they're taking mentoring calls. So they'll get on one-on-one calls to help them figure out, how do I know what to do next? So I was doing actually a lot of my interviews as a result of mentoring calls. I would make myself available on the blog. People would call in, and I would do a customer development interview during our mentoring call, or basically after our mentoring call. And what was really interesting is that I asked people, well, how are you trying to solve this problem? And they would almost never mention the fact that they had called in for a mentoring call as one of the things they were doing to solve this problem. So that's just a heads up that if you see their behavior, if you have actual data that tells you that they are trying to solve this problem in a particular way, go ahead and write it down here, as well as the things that they cite that indicate they're solving this problem. Some of the other things that they had been trying to solve indicate that they're trying to solve this problem. The Founder Institute. So if people are engaging with other programs or using competitors type offerings or something you deem as being a competitor, that's a great place to put them in here if they're actually using them. If you have data, real data from the customer that says they're doing it. Buying books, I heard a lot about. Running Lean was a book that was mentioned quite a bit. And Foundation is another alternative program that does ongoing education. Okay, so you're going to write down the current solutions. Third, you're going to write down the emotions that come about, the emotions that are mentioned most frequently as a result of this problem. So it's all about relating to this number one problem here. So by far, I heard overwhelmed over and over and over again. I definitely heard it the most. So it's just the emotion that sort of popped out most clearly. So that's the one I put there. You will probably have more for yours, but overwhelmed, I just heard that an overwhelming number of times. All right, next up, channels. This is the places that your customers are looking for solutions. So again, this is all driven from the customer data. This isn't you guessing. This is all driven from the actual conversations you've had with your customers. So what channels do they use to go and find these solutions over here? So the current solutions. I know they used my blog because that's how they got the mentoring calls. The Founder Institute channel. So Founder Institute, any competitor's product or similar related product is going to not only be a solution, but it's also likely going to be a channel. So it's something that you can leverage to go and reach your customers. So I use the word competitor. Founder Institute isn't so much a competitor. They're like a complementary sort of offering. So if I can partner with them, then that's a potential channel because I know that my customers are leveraging that solution currently. And that some people are, I know a lot of people are reading my articles because they get shared on Facebook. And so if I think about channels in terms of where people are finding information, Facebook is a great place for that. All right, so I just took out the word ads here because Facebook ads doesn't make sense. It should have been just Facebook. So when we take a screenshot from here, it should be here. It should mention just Facebook, not Facebook ads. Okay, step 5 are deficiencies. So these are the things your customers cite when you ask them about their current solutions and why they're not optimal. So this is going to be the deficiencies in the current solution. So what I heard over and over again was that there are lots of people talking about theory but not how to do it. And there's no accountability in any of these offerings. So here you'll see that I am mentioning the deficiency, the no accountability as a problem, and it's a deficiency related to the current solutions out there. So that's basically it for this particular problem. You just write in these 5 concepts, and these will be the foundation of your marketing strategy and your solution design. So again, this is going to be the foundation. We now have the platform to go take actionable forward steps based on our interviews, and I'm going to show you exactly how we're going to use this as a foundation for our marketing strategy and our solution design. So you'll notice that of these 5 sections, these 3 right here, the problem, the current solutions, and the deficiencies, these are going to all inform our solution design process. So you'll see those in future exercises where we will take these core principles and use them as the basis for our ideation phase when we create a new design. And this section over here, these 3 groups 1, 3, and 4, these are going to be our marketing strategies. So we're going to use these to go and develop our marketing approach, both our marketing copy and our marketing channels. So combined, we have both our the foundation for our marketing strategy and our solution design. All right, well, there you go. We've just finished problem synthesis, and you are now ready to put together your marketing plan and your solution design. So we'll cover those in the next couple chapters.